Are you sick and tired of the pandemic? I get it. I think most of us are in this place right now. Last week, though, something happened which really shook my perspective, and would love to share this with you in this video. Hi, it's Bijan here. I'm a life coach with a background in hypnotherapy and systemic therapy. My passion is to help others explore and change their inner subconscious pattern. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I would really appreciate an early thumbs up. This really helps my channel to grow. So, first of all, I want to emphasize that we are definitely in a hard situation. None of us would imagine like 1.5 years ago that this can happen. And we all are in an extreme, very extreme situation. Especially if I think about families with kids, so also older people. So it's really challenging, and for some groups even more challenging. So it's totally okay, I think, to feel like, oh, okay, I really get to my limits, and when this is over, and also to complain about it a bit. So it's definitely worth complaining. We didn't have this before. And on the other hand, last week I had an interesting experience which shifted my perspective a bit. And yeah, it gave me really new perspective, and I would love to give this back to you. So I watched, on accident, I watched a press conference in German TV where it was about the actual situation, the pandemic. First, there was a Minister of Health department speaking, and they also invite some experts, and they also invited an intensive care worker. And at the end, the intensive care worker spoke, I think about around 10 minutes, and described the situation a little bit. Actually, he was from Berlin, Germany, so about the hospitals, and he was jumping in several hospitals, so he had a very good insight of different places. So he was sharing a bit what's going on there. And yeah, this was really hard. So he explained a little bit that in which conditions they have to work. So they have these FFP3 masks, which are even more like closed than normal masks. These are special hospital masks, and they wear completely closed suits to protection. So they have to work. So first of all, they had before a shortage of workers in this area, and as a pandemic hit, so it got even harder because they had to work so much. And so they're working like, so he described like with this suit you're wearing, no air comes through, so you start to sweat, you start to be wet inside, and then you start to freeze. And so you're really working like 8 to 10 hours in this completely closed like suit, which sounds super terrible. And because of shortage of workers, they can't really go on long holidays or something, so they're really working non-stop last 12 months. And that's the reason also a lot of people, they can't stand the pressure anymore. They left the job because they couldn't do it anymore, and this even leads to a greater shortage. And for sure, he described also that it was hard to see people suffering. I mean, if you work as an intensive care nurse or worker, then you are used to this. But he said, like, it's a little bit different. So sometimes the people are there not even for weeks, even for months, fighting and suffering. So this, was really special. And he said also the situation is totally special about visitors, because I think it's different in every country, but I think in most countries it's like this. So no visitors are allowed to come in. So the people are really on their own, and the care workers are kind of the bridge between the dads and the moms and the relatives of the patients. So they try to communicate all the time, and they get asked how they are and stuff like this. So he said it's really hard because we have to do all this social work as well, because relatives are not allowed to come in and to see their beloved family members. So this was all pretty crazy to hear, and then it got even worse. So then he started to talk about, so in many cases it gets worse and worse. And then at one point, when it's clear that a person will die, then just immediately before they die, they're allowed to inform the families. And he spoke about that, yeah, so imagine your beloved mom or dad or whoever relative is in hospital. So first of all, you can't visit them. And then if you can visit them, so mostly he said the people are not conscious anymore when they can call the family and when it's so worse that they can visit them, like before they pass away. So yeah, they're mostly not conscious anymore. And then he said, imagine like they have to go as well, like fully protected with this mask and the full suit and gloves. And yeah, he described like imagine this is the last time you see your relative and the person also sees you. Like if the person even realizes it, sees you in this mask and totally closed, and so you can't really give the kiss or touch the person, or yeah, so he said it's really heartbreaking to see this so many times, and it's yeah, must be a tremendous like emotional thing, and yeah, just horrible. And then he also explained then if people are dying, they're supposed to put them in these black plastic bags, which are yeah, he said it's like just horrible. You pack them away, and he just said like you can't forget about this, and you can't get these pictures out of your head. And yeah, it was just as I heard all this, it was like, man, this is awful. And I just started to be thankful that I thankfully have no close relatives which are impacted, and but I know a lot of people have, and a lot of people are died in this pandemic. Yeah, so I remember, and I asked myself, okay, and I complain that I can't go to a restaurant having a pizza or something like this, or going to a shop and do some clothes shopping or whatever. So I started to get more thankful, and I thought, wait, I'm so lucky that I still can work and I don't have to do this hard job that people are there and doing. And this also led to another thought process of mine, which I had to think back on my grandparents. And I know my grandfather, he was involved in the Second World War. And yeah, if you think back, and I know he had nightmares for all his life about this sometimes. So if you think back about it, I mean, it's tough what we have to do and where we have to go through. But if you think also about what other people are having to bear, and whether it's wars or hunger, look at India, what's going on there with the pandemic. It's totally out of control, and a lot of more people are dying. Look at Myanmar, like what's going on there actually with the political riots and stuff. So there's so many horrible things which are happening to people right now, and also in the past generations of us, that yeah, if we look at what we have now, it's tough, but I think we will fight through it. And I think it's also, yeah, from this perspective, not that hard maybe compared to if you have to go to war, or if you whatever, like all the things I spoke about. Yeah, so I hope I didn't kill your mood completely. So I want to encourage you. We are almost through, so it can't be a really long time. I think most of the time we have behind us, and yeah, we can look positively in the future, definitely. So maybe hang in a little more, a couple of weeks, maybe months, but then towards summer, towards late summer, maybe we will be better, I guess. And for sure it will take a while until the whole world is like set very good with vaccinations and stuff. So this will take another couple of months. But I think, yeah, it's amazing that we did it until here, and we will do the final step as well. We will survive it, and we will have our friends around again. We will go to restaurants again. We will go outside again. We meet with friends and family. So yeah, I think this is a good perspective, and I hope this helped you. Just a little reminder that there are always worse situations, and we are in actually, and especially we in developed countries like the US or Europe, I think it's a different game compared to if you're somewhere in India actually or somewhere else. Thank you so much for spending your time with me here. Really appreciate it. Please give me a thumbs up. Would really appreciate it to help my channel out and to help me grow. I wish you a great day. See you in my next videos. Bye bye.